Buenas tardes. Excellencies, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen. It is with my great pleasure to address you all this afternoon at the occasion of the opening of the 8th International Conference on Big Data and Data Science for Official Statistics. I am making the opening remarks in this case on behalf of the United Nations Committee of Experts on Big Data and Data Science for Official Statistics. I would like to start by thanking the Spanish government and regional government of the Basque country for their efforts of making these events into great success. I would like also to recognize the support provided by Ms. Elena Manzanera and the National Statistics Institute of Spain. Last but not least, I would like to thank the colleagues of the Basque Center for the Climate Change here in Bilbao, who have gone the extra mile to prepare for this event and reply to many questions from all of you. The overall theme of this conference is informing climate change and sustainable development with integrated data. Climate change and sustainable development are indeed among the issues with the highest priority at the United Nations and for all its member states. Since 2014, our Committee of Experts has explored the benefits and challenges of using big data and data science for official statistics, as well as for SDGs indicators. We explored the use of Earth observation for agriculture statistics, the use of mobile phone data for tourism and population statistics, the use of AIS vessel tracking data to monitor maritime export, and the use of scanner data and web scraping for price statistics. Moreover, we look into the cross-cutting issues of the required skills and corresponding training programs, and of the use of privacy-enhancing technology to ensure the protections of sensitive information. Recently, the topic of data science became more prominent in the work of the committee. We established a data science leader network, which is developing a playbook to help statistical offices integrate data science into its business processes. And we created a new task team on data science and SDG localizations, which looks into using innovative methods to measure SDG indicators at very local levels. Dear colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, the Committee of Experts also created regional and global hubs on big data and data science for official statistics. These hubs will help to build capacity in statistical offices in the regions and around the world. The new hub was established in Indonesia by BPS Statistics Indonesia at the end of 2023, namely the Regional Hub on Big Data and Data Science for Asia and the Pacific. Since then, BPS Statistics Indonesia has conducted several activities in Jakarta with participation of countries in the region, such as the introduction to remote sensing and land classification, webinar and workshop on mobile phone data processing and analytics for official statistics. Also in this year, BPS Statistics Indonesia is going to conduct web scraping prizes for CPI and SDG data disaggregation using small area estimation and machine learning. In addition, a collaborative project on Indonesia One Rights data has been conducted by our office, BPS Statistics Indonesia, in collaboration with FAO and UNESCAP to estimate paddy's growing phases, cultivation time, rice yields by using Earth observation and machine learning. Dear colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, in the last 2 years, in 2022, BPS Statistics Indonesia, together with the United Nations Statistics Division and other partners of the Committee of Experts, organized the 7th International Conference on Big Data and Data Science for Official Statistics in Yogyakarta, Indonesia. The theme of that conference was Global Challenges and the Importance of Relevant and Timely Data, with special attention to global economic recovery, food security, and access to relevant data. The conference showcased the work of the various task teams in the UN. So in this week, the 8th International Conference here in Bilbao will have many sessions around the overall theme of informing climate change and sustainable development policy with integrated data. You will see several sessions on climate change-related issues, on biodiversity, the sustainability of tourism, on data science and SDG localization, and more. Special attention is also given to the work of the regional and global hubs. I am very grateful to all experts who have traveled to Bilbao to present to you this week. You will see lots of innovative works. It is only through partnership with these experts that we can make real progress. Dear colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, in closing, let me emphasize that I am really proud of the progress made by the Committee of Experts on Big Data and Data Science for Official Statistics over the last 10 years. I am also proud that my institution, BPS Statistics Indonesia, has been part of this evolution. Together, we have made significant progress. I am also excited about the possibilities of further progress over the next 10 years. The conference this week will be another significant contribution to our journey on innovation for the statistical community. I encourage you all to meet and talk to many of the colleagues who are gathered this week here in Bilbao. I also encourage you to continue the ongoing collaborations and start the new collaborations. I wish you a very successful conference. Muchas gracias. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you for your introduction, Mr. Machdi. Thank you for remembering us the importance of big data and the knowledge in order to face the big challenges as climate change, biodiversity, poverty, and finally the progress. This is the final goal, to help to maintain the progress and to be more and more live for us. So, unfortunately, Mr. Junhua, Under Secretary General of UN Department on Economic and Social Affairs, was not be able to be here with us today, but he wanted to share with us the following video with very important ideas in order to open the conference.
Distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to address you at the opening of the 8th International Conference on Big Data and Data Science for Official Statistics. I would like to thank the Spanish government and the regional government of the Basque country for their efforts to make this event a great success. Spain has also shown itself a global leader in promoting implementation of the 2030 Agenda by work of the Spanish Agency for International Development Cooperation and the support for the UN Office in SDG localization in the Bilbao. The focus of this conference is opportune. Data has become increasingly critical for our societies in this digital era. While the commitment to urgent action for the SDGs and addressing climate change is beginning to bear fruit, meaningful policy action will require integrated data covering economic, environmental, and social dimensions. Ladies and gentlemen, dear colleagues, this attention to data availability must transcend data-focused fora and form an integral part of our investments into both shaping and monitoring development progress. Member States made that clear at the 4th International Conference on Small Island Developing States, held last month in Antigua and Barbuda. in requesting to develop a clear monitoring and evaluation framework for the Antigua and Barbuda agenda for seats. Likewise, as we head towards the Summit of the Future in September, the Pact of the Future will need to encourage better use of the foresight, data, and science to evaluate the future impact of the policies and actions, and advance the move towards the complementary measures of the national progress beyond GDP. The Summit of the Future is also expected to launch a global digital compact that includes a proposal for an international data governance framework to guide the global, regional, and the national approaches. This international conference on big data and data science for official statistics can help to clarify the issues involved in establishing such a framework. Ladies and gentlemen, dear colleagues, big data and data science will be central for guiding our next steps towards a better and a brighter future. With this in mind, I look forward to the outcomes of your deliberations here and wish you a very successful conference. I thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Junhua, to help us to think big data as a help to think about global challenges, but about common goals in a global perspective, in a social and political perspective for all the planet. We have more speakers in this opening ceremony, and the next one is Ms. Kazumi Ogawa, Head of Europe Regional Programs of UN Habitat. Mr. Ogawa, the floor is yours, and I think, yes, please, Ms. Ogawa.
Distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, egun augustioi, muy buenos dias a todas y todas. It's my pleasure to address to you this afternoon at this opening of the 8th International Conference on Big Data and Data Science for Official Statistics. Permítanme comenzar agradeciendo calurosamente al gobierno español y el gobierno regional del País Vasco a su apoyo a este evento de las Naciones Unidas. I would also like to recognize Statistics South Africa as chair of the United Nations Committee of Experts on Big Data and Data Science for Official Statistics, and Ms. Elena Manzanera, President of INE, the National Statistic Office of Spain. Allow me also to thank on all of our behalf the Basque Center for Climate Change, which has gone the extra mile to make this event memorable. As mentioned just now by United Nations Secretary General Junhua, the United Nations continues to ask its member states for their unwavering support in fulfilling the promise of the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. In September of this year, as Mr. Lee has just mentioned, heads of state will meet in New York to agree on a pact for the future, which is a vision created in the interest and well-being of our future generations. At its most recent session in February, the United Nations Statistical Commission endorsed the creation of a new task team on data science and SDG localization under the guidance of the UN Committee on Experts on Big Data and Data Science for Official Statistics. This task team will focus on monitoring the implementation of the Sustainable Development Goals at local level in cities, in towns, and in rural communities. The work will be carried out using innovative methods and alternative data sources using the latest data science technologies. Those objectives fit very well with the theme of this conference, Informing Climate Change and Sustainable Development with Integrated Data. Given its expertise in urban issues, UN Habitat will lead this new task team and steer the work together with other international agencies, as well as national partners. We are especially looking forward to integrating statistical and geospatial information to monitor SDG implementation at local level. As our world becomes increasingly urban and digital, the future of cities lies in the effective harnessing of big data. This powerful resource holds the key to unlocking new levels of efficiency, sustainability, quality of life for urban dwellers. Using the wealth of data generated by sensors, connected devices, citizen-generated content, city and local government planners and leaders can make data-driven decisions that transform the way that we live, that we work, that we move within our bustling urban areas. Big data is defined by 3 V's that distinguish it from the traditional data sources: volume, velocity, and variety. In urban planning, this kind of real-time information can be used to tackle a wide range of resources, from efficient resource management to enhanced public safety. Big data analytics can help identify patterns in climate change. It can optimize resource allocation and feed informed decision-making that directly benefits local communities and individuals. It has the potential to transform our world, to change the way that we see a challenge, and drive progress around a wide range of industries. For example, by using real-time data on energy consumption, greenhouse gas emissions, waste generation, resource use, city planners can identify opportunities to reduce the environmental impact of their communities. This data-driven approach enables the implementation of targeted interventions, such as energy-efficient building retrofits, waste-to-energy programs, and urban greening initiatives. These ultimately create more livable and environmentally responsible cities. While the potential of big data to shape the future of cities is immense, it also, as we all know, comes with a set of challenges and considerations that must be addressed. Concerns around data privacy, security, the ethical use of information are paramount. As we all know, the collection and analysis of personal data raises significant privacy issues. For this reason, national and city leaders must implement robust data governance frameworks. It must ensure transparency and data-driven decision-making and engage with citizens to build the trust and to address these concerns. By striking the right balance between the benefits of big data and the protection of individual rights, cities and nations can harness the power of this transformative resource to create truly smart, sustainable, and equitable urban environments. The proper use of the data available for decision-making unlocks the potential for innovation and for more holistic, data-informed solutions. It can help us create a future where the lessons from climate change services and the power of data-driven insights work together to shape a brighter, more equitable tomorrow for us all. In closing, I would like to thank again the contribution of the Spanish government, the regional government of the Basque Country, and the city of Bilbao, including for hosting the Local 2030 Coalition. This coalition includes 14 entities of the UN working together to harness the power of localization to accelerate the Sustainable Development Goals and the digital connectivity transition, which is highly relevant for this conference. I wish us all very fruitful discussions in the next 2 days. Eskerrik asko. Muchas gracias.
Thank you, Ms. Ogawa, to show us the importance of the approach of a very important agency like UN Habitat. Very important in order to integrate this knowledge and this big data approach in the social life in cities and in other spaces. Now, I would like to introduce Ms. María José Sanz as our next speaker. María José Sanz is Scientific Director of the Basque Center for Climate Change, and she is one of the co-organizers of the conference. María José, you have the floor.
Distinguished colleagues, well, good afternoon, Arratza León, buenas tardes a todos. It is a pleasure to meet you here representing the Basque Center for Climate Change and have the opportunity to collaborate in this organization of this important conference for all of us and probably also for all the world. The BC3 is a Basque Excellence Research Center which aims to contribute to long-term research and on the causes and consequences of climate change, but going beyond that in the context of sustainable development, in order to foster the creation of knowledge in a multidisciplinary science. We are dedicated to address the complexities of climate change through integration of knowledge and data while using scientific approaches and methodologies ranging from basic science to social science. It is required to bring multiple disciplines in a common research space in a collaborative manner. The lack of tangible progress across these global challenges relates in part to the nature of the challenges, which are wicked problems. They are intertwined, multi-stakeholder, and with potential solutions depending on subjective and competitive interest. There are also very tightly linked issues like the climate change, the biodiversity crisis, also poverty, and other very important social issues. They are usually dealt with in a separate bodies, on a separate forums. But it is obvious for us that addressing them efficiently requires an unprecedented integration and synthesis of evidence, including data, models, and scientific and non-scientific knowledge, which includes also traditional and stakeholder knowledge. This can lead to broadly shared solutions among diverse ranges of stakeholders as well. Proper use of scientific data and models following an open source, open data paradigm can enhance credibility and transparency of the science and what science is producing, as well as improving the replicability of these complex scientific workflows that it will inform, in many cases, policies and action. It is more and more evident that we will benefit from a fully connected information landscape using open, safe, accurate data while sharing and linking models and to enable data-intensive science for decision-making. In BC3, we developed and are committed to further develop a collaborative modeling spaces which will allow scientists to contribute to their own knowledge and reuse that contributed by others, with which we consider critical for successful interdisciplinary science that can be relevant for addressing complex societal challenges such as climate change, biodiversity, among others, with the ultimate goal of progressing in the achievement of the Sustainable Development Goals. This week, we will deal with many of those issues, recognizing that there is a growing trend towards standardization, automation, and data source interoperability. In this regard, BC3 is a leading research institution that hosts the development of artificial intelligence for environment and sustainability. What you will hear those days is called ARIES. As an integrated open source modeling platform for environmental sustainability where researchers from across the globe can add their own data and models to our web-based repositories. As one of the most prominent applications of ARIES, you also will hear those days that we have produced the ARIES for SIA together with the UN Statistical Offices, which is an explorer that automates data and model integration, and it allows users anywhere in the world to produce rapid, standardized, scalable, and customizable ecosystem accounts for their area of interest, and that will be consistent with the ecosystem accounting framework of the UN. The ARIES team at BC3 and collaborators across the world are continuously expanding the functionalities of the platform. Co-organizing with the UN Statistics, the National Statistical Institute of Spain, and EUSTAT this conference represent for us a recognition of all our efforts in promoting interoperability, fairness of data, and overall moving towards knowledge as a common good. Finally, I want to thank all the co-organizers of the conference, which without them, it will be impossible to be here today. I will also like to thank every single person that was running after every single detail that is being said today for this conference. And particularly, I would like to thank the Basque government, which has been supporting the BC3 for so many years, and it was the one that allowed us to go and stay and progress in this new technology for sustainability based on big data. Thank you very much. Arratza Leon.
Thank you very much, Maria José. Good point to start this conference for this opening ceremony talking about collaboration, talking about collaborate. Maria José has been the first person to speak about this, collaboration and collaborate, as one of the key words of this conference. We're going to continue with Ms. Elena Manzanera. Ms. Elena, please. She's president of National Institute of Statistics of Spain from the government of Spain. Ms. Manzanera.
Buenas tardes. Good afternoon. Thank you very much. And thanks to United Nations, to BC3 and regional government of País Vasco for organizing this conference. It's a pleasure for me to take part in this conference in the beautiful city of Bilbao. The conference represents a great opportunity to discuss and exchange knowledge on the use of new data sources for informing decision-making. I think that this conference on big data for official statistics, especially dedicated this year to informing climate change and sustainable development policies with integrated data, is very relevant and is taking place at a timely moment. National statistical offices, as is it the case of INE Spain, are improving our production methods by introduction of big data as a valuable data source for official statistics. There are many areas where big data and new data sources plays a key role for the production of official statistics that remain relevant in a context of data-fied society. Measuring sustainable development or climate change are two of these key areas where the use of these new data sources can add a great value to the production of official statistics. At INE Spain, the production of Sustainable Development Goals indicators, the statistical framework to measure the implementation of the 2030 Agenda, has incorporated those new data sources. The 2030 Agenda is a large-scope strategy that requires the availability of high-quality indicators to keep track of the evolution toward its goals and targets and to guide the decision-making process in order to achieve them. The United Nations General Assembly stressed that official statistics and data from national statistical systems are the necessary basis for the global indicator framework. It also recommended that national statistical systems explore ways to integrate new data sources into their system to meet the new data needs for the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development, as appropriate, and underline the role of national statistical offices as coordinator of the national statistical system. Several international initiatives foster the use of big data on SDG. For instance, it has been shown that geospatial data have significant value in supporting the development of the indicator framework. In this line, in Spain, the National Geographic Institute and INE have developed a project to generate SDG indicators from Earth observations. It has allowed to produce indicators at very detailed level and to release them by means of maps. INE Spain is fully aware of the relevance of this project. In 2017, the National Statistical Institute launched the Statistical Product Indicators for the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development with the collaboration of the statistical services of the ministerial departments and the Bank of Spain. We are participating since the beginning in the highest level forum on SDGs, such as the United Nations High-Level Group for Partnership Coordination and Capacity Building for Statistics for the 2030 Agenda, and the Interagency Expert Group on Sustainable Development Goal Indicators. And also, at national level, we have a working group with the regional statistical offices in order to cooperate in exchanging methodological experiences on the development of these indicators at the state and regional level. This work is evidence of the national statistical system commitment to producing indicators of the highest quality, which facilitate an adequate monitoring of the goals and targets of the 2030 Agenda. Recently, INE has prepared the statistical annex for the Spanish Voluntary National Review in 2024, thus providing continuity to the previous participation in the voluntary national reviews that took place in 2018 and 2021. The publication is based on data available on SDG Indicators National Platform. Statistical information is provided in the form of text, infographies, and tables organized by objective. It also includes 3 thematic sections closely linked to key aspects of SDG, focusing beyond GDP and SDG indicators, progress assessment on the 2030 agenda, and using Earth observation to calculate SDG indicators. Climate change-related statistics, tourism statistics, or transport statistics are other areas where big data and new data sources plays a key role for the production of official statistics. In this context, statistical offices need to tap the potential of these data sources and be at the forefront of the transformation of this data into relevant information for society. It will also be essential to build capacity inside the National Statistics Institutes on the use of new technologies and to create efficient partnership with all the stakeholders, including the private data holders and the academia. Within the framework of the European statistical system, a key recent milestone has been the amendment of Regulation 223 on European statistics, proposed during the Spanish presidency by the end of 2023. This amendment aims, among other things, to bring access to new data sources in general, and particularly to privately held data, for the development and production of European official statistics on a sustainable basis and according to fair, clear, and predictable rules. Besides, another important step has been the amendment of the Regulation 691 as regards the introduction of new modules in the production of the European Environmental Economic Account. The main objective of this amendment is to extend the scope of the European Environmental Economic Accounts to provide better information for the European Green Deal, a growth strategy that aims to transform the EU into a fair and prosperous society with a modern, resource-efficient, and competitive economy. Compiling 3 new environmental modules on forest account, ecosystem accounts, and environmental subsidies and similar transfer accounts. The European statistical system is consolidating a clear commitment to innovation with the establishment of a specific innovation agenda that will create the scenario to leverage the efforts done for the modernization of the production of official statistics. All these steps forward represent a great opportunity for a statistical office, but also a great challenge, and they will have to work together with all the stakeholders to create the maximum add value from this data. I'm confident this conference will contribute to leveraging knowledge among participants and will also facilitate the establishment of important networks. I wish you all very fruitful discussion during the following session. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Manzanera, for your words. It's a pleasure to listen here in this opening ceremony I think, maybe several of the key words of this conference. If Maria José Sanz before talked about collaboration, now Ms. Manzanera talked about Agenda 2030 and integrate and coordinate between public offices, public statement of statistics. So it's a pleasure to choose these keywords in order to make a framework of this conference. We're going to continue with Jokin Bildarratz. Jokin Bildarratz, Mr. Bildarratz, is Councillor of Education representing the Basque government as a local host and co-organizer of the conference. Sail Buru, the floor is yours.
Mr. Imam Machdi, Ms. Kazumi Ogawa, Ms. Maria José, Ms. Elena Manzanera, gainerako ordezkariak, zein kongresuan parte hartzen dezuenok, eguerdi on guztioi. ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Basque government, let me thank the organizers for the invitation to this Congress opening on big data and data science for official statistics that focuses on informing climate change and sustainable development policies with integrated data. I would like to welcome you all to the Basque Country and to the city of Bilbao. Zalantzarik gabe, Kongresu hau Bilbon egitea, Euskadin 2030 agendaren arloan eta bereziki klima aldaketaren arloan egindako ibilbidea aitortzea da. Lan hori Eusko Jaurlaritzak eta gainerako administrazioek egin dute BC3, Basque eta edo Eustat bezalako eragileen ekarpen garrantzitsuarekin. Eusko Jaurlaritzak Euskadin klima aldaketaren esparruan ikerketa eta garapena bultzatzeko egiten dituen politiken adierazle nagusia BC3 bikaintasun zentroa da. Gure bikaintasun zentroen sarea, Berk sarea, munduan erreferentzia diren 9 zentro osatzen dute. BC3 Berka zientzia, teknologia eta berrikuntzaren euskal sarearen parte da, eta gainera, klima aldaketari buruzko ikerketa arloan erreferentzia da munduan. I believe that there is no better way to welcome all of you than to reaffirm the Basque government's commitment to the 17 Sustainable Development Goals and in particular to action in the field of climate change. The Basque government has a local commitment to a global objective for a more sustainable and equitable world. As our Lehendakari, the President, said last year during the presentation of the 2030 Local Coalition Secretariat, sub-state governments play an important role in the global governance of the agenda, as their commitment is strategic in improving the balance sheet of the Sustainable Development Goals. Desde su puesta en marcha en 2023 en Bilbao, el Secretariado de la Coalición Local 2030 dinamiza el trabajo de la Coalición Local 2030 y avanza en la localización de los ODS dentro de la ONU y en todos los territorios y comunidades. Es, por tanto, una aportación global desde Euskadi. Pues bien, centrándome en el objeto de este congreso, la Big Data y Data Science, en este mismo concepto se enmarcan también nuestros esfuerzos en los ámbitos de la generación de datos y herramientas interoperables que sirven para hacer una aportación al desarrollo de los ODS. Concretamente, el Gobierno vasco apuesta por el desarrollo de investigación de excelencia en BC3 y su transferencia a nuestra sociedad, una apuesta que se ha especializado en analizar los beneficios y los retos del Big Data, incluyendo la monitorización y el reporte sobre los objetivos de desarrollo sostenible. Thanks to BC3, we have had a generation of scientists and political analysts who use human and environment models for research, policy and management to address sustainability challenges. The Basque Country assumes the need to cooperate with the large global statistical community in order to adequately address methodological, quality, technological or data access issues so that we can all make the right decisions on the use of big data in the field of climate change. The contribution of BC3 and the scientists' work of Professor Basque Ferdinando Villa are referential. In 2016, we held a conference on artificial intelligence and the modeling of ecosystem services in Bilbao with the University of Vermont and the ARIES project and a central focus on it. Desde la colaboración entre el Departamento de Educación y la comisionada aquí presente para la ciencia, la tecnología y la innovación del Gobierno vasco, hemos apoyado la propuesta de BC3 de articular el programa ARIES, que a través del uso de la inteligencia artificial y el machine reasoning nos permite abordar la resolución de complejos problemas ambientales y sociales, apoyando decisiones hacia una mayor sostenibilidad de nuestra sociedad. Nuestro objetivo ha sido y es tener más y mejor información, poder integrarla adecuadamente e incidir en el objetivo de la sostenibilidad local y global. Déjenme decir con orgullo que en Euskadi la articulación de las políticas públicas tiene un anclaje en la política científica y de investigación vasca. Es una prioridad de la sociedad vasca que se impulsa desde el Gobierno vasco, a quien represento, por el desarrollo inteligente y sostenible de nuestra sociedad. Euskal politika zientifikoak ekarpen garrantzitsua egiten dio 3 transizio sozial, berde eta energetikoei zorroztasun zientifikoak heltzeari. Hezkuntza sailak beste sail batzuekin lankidetzan bultzatutako politika horrek bikaintasun zentroak sortu ditu urteetan zehar gizartean eragin handia duten gaietan, hala nola, klima aldaketan. Beraz, ez da kasualitatea Eusko Jaurlaritzak arlo horretako ikerketa zentro baten aldeko apostua egitea, eta horren alde egitea gainera. Aitzetik, gure gizarteak eskatzen digun bezala, zorroztasun zientifikotik politika publikoak elikatzen eta bultzatzen dituen epe luzeko ikuspegi baten ondorioa da. Konpromiso hori bilbide luzekoa da, eta zientzia, teknologia eta berrikuntza 2030 planarekin lerrokatuta datozen urteetan zabaltzen eta garatzen jarraituko dugu. Our vision of public policy is linked to the fact that society can build confidence in our political proposals, make decisions along with important actors, and promote the understanding of society as a whole on the major issues that affects and will affect us in the future. I would like to thank you for choosing the Basque Country to host this Congress, especially the UN Statistics Division and the Committee of Experts of Big Data and Data Science for their close cooperation with the Basque Country. I hope, I wish that we can continue to expand our cooperation in the future. I wish you all a pleasant stay in Euskadi. I hope that you enjoy the different talks and fruitful discussions. Thank you very much to all the organizing team. Eskerrik asko.